Hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast. And guess what?
We are married.
We're married. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, it was a surprise to most people.
Yes, and let's do our introduction. Hi, I'm Megan Young Diaz.
Hi, I'm Mikael is young.
That sounds so interesting.
Do you like that? I came up with that.
I kind of like the sound to it. Like,
Yeah.
I have your last name, you have mine.
Yeah, let's keep it fair. I mean, I'm not. Obviously, we can't really use it for legal purposes.
I
But-
think we'd have a harder time.
Yeah, that would suck. Like, the paperwork would suck.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know, and it's nice to let people know that these are just names, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I call her Bones.
I call you Fofo. Honestly, on our invite, it was Bones and Fofo. It wasn't even Mikael and Megan. It was Bones and Fofo.
But anyways, enough with that intro. We're going to get into the meat of things and kind of explain to you that the podcast is back.
Yes, the podcast is back. And, just so that people who don't know, yes, we got married and we just announced our marriage on the day itself. Surprise, surprise. But we wanted to make this series of podcasts to talk about that.
Yeah, so this is the official reboot of Behind Relationship Goals. Welcome to the podcast. And for the next few episodes, we'd like to share the journey,
Our experience.
the adventure,
Yeah.
the experience of our marriage. It wasn't just Jan 25. This started 5 years ago.
5 years ago is when Mikael proposed to me. Ta-da!
So this episode is going to be all about
the engagement. Grabe, ang tagal na pala, no?
Yeah, no, it's been a while. And we're very, very excited because it's the first time that we get to share this to people. And to be honest with you, this podcast has been extremely, extremely fulfilling because so many people have been able to relate. The feedback has been amazing.
Yeah, it has been.
And the comments have definitely been, there's been a lot of depth in the comments because people would also share their experiences or how hearing another person's or another couple's experiences helps them get through whatever they're trying to.
Yeah. It helps enrich
Process.
like whatever process that they need for a certain situation.
Exactly. So here we are, ready to share this with you. 5 years ago, 2014, what happened?
2014, Mick and I were just hanging out, and I think you guys know by now that Mick and I love to put ourselves in different situations. Like if there's something in the news that's happening with a couple, we'll put ourselves in their shoes and we'll try to like analyze it, how we think we would react if we were put in that certain situation. And we were talking about something. What was it that we said earlier? We were talking about
Commitment?
commitment. Yes. We were talking about commitment. And somewhere along the lines there, like you just like stopped and then you stared at me.
Yeah. Oh wait, just to kind of set the tone. So this was sometime in 2014. I don't remember. It was in a hotel. We were just chilling
Yeah.
together, hanging out, and we were just talking. There was no particular significance to the date. There was nothing
Nothing.
prepared. It was a spontaneous moment. And yeah, we were talking about commitment. And then what's your side of it again?
Well, my side is that we were talking and then all of a sudden you just stopped and then you stared at me. And I was like, why is he just staring at me? Like, did I say something wrong? Like, is he mad at me? What's happening? And then all of a sudden you just go, Bones. And I got so nervous because I'm like, what is he going to say? Is he going to break up with me or something? Like, does he not like me anymore? He's like, Bones, will you marry me? Will you be my wife? I was like,
So I said that, will you be my wife? That's what I said?
yeah, you said, will you be my wife?
Why would I say that?
I
But
don't
anyway.
know.
Anyway.
But I was like, huh? Really? And I kind of got like glassy eyed and stuff, but I wasn't sure what was happening because it was so sudden.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It reminded me of,
And then eventually, what did you say? How did you say yes? What did you use?
honestly, I don't even remember. I think I just said yes.
I
will.
think you just said yes. Okay, and my point of view, my side of that story is that it's true. It was a very spontaneous thing. I think we were just talking about commitments and our relationship together, and that got me thinking. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the urge, the emotion, the desire to ask the person in front of me, Bones, to marry me and be my wife kind of overcame me. And I think it happens normally, especially when you feel so in love, kilig na kilig ka.
Yeah.
It kind of just happens. But here was the difference with me. I decided to act on it. And there's a reason behind that, because when I asked her to be my girlfriend back in 2011, it was the same urge and same
You had that
desire
same
that came
feeling.
out of nowhere. We were in a parking lot. We just had a good date. It was my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt like asking her to be my girlfriend. And I did. I acted on that impulse, and it ended up so well for both of us.
Mm-hmm. It
We
did.
had an amazing relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend. So when I felt it again, but this time to ask for her hand in marriage, I was like, what the heck? Why don't I just act on this impulse again? Because the first time I did it, it went so well for us.
It's so interesting because we were probably in our third year as boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, fourth year.
Was it
fourth
fourth?
year? Because we met 2010.
2010.
We met
2011 we got
2010.
together. So 12, 13, 14, 3 years.
Oh, okay. Well, I counted in years, like 2010.
Yeah, no.
1, 2, 3,
It was
4.
3 years technically.
More than 3 years, naman.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than 3 years. But yeah, so because of history, I felt it might repeat itself, and I think it did. What's up?
I can't believe, like, you know how, like, people usually plan out things like this? A lot of people, traditionally, they plan things out. They think of, like, what kind of gimmick, what should they do to, like, propose to their loved one. But honestly, I'm so happy you did it that way, because I'm not a fan of, like, gimmicks. I'm not a fan of grand gestures. So I'm so happy you did it. It was just the both of us, because it felt so personal, and it felt so us, our personalities.
Yeah, I agree. And another thing is, I remember telling you as I asked you that I'm already committed to you, and it's not like that was going to change. Like, for me, the kind of person that I am, when I give to someone, I give wholeheartedly and like everything, like
Yeah.
110%, 200%,
He really does.
if possible. And I didn't want that to change. I had no desire to date other people, date other girls, meet other girls. I mean, I was happy with the friends whom I had. So I was like, why don't I just commit now? So this is also the rationale that I had behind me asking her. After I had asked her, I was like, yeah, dude, why don't I just ask her? I mean, I want to be a one-woman man. I want to have a life with someone that I can grow up with for a
Yeah.
very long time. I feel like I have that now. So tara, subukan na natin to. Let's shoot that ball.
Wala pa naman, fofo.
No, shoot the ball. Like, ask for the...
Ikaw
Ikaw
talaga.
naman.
Ikaw naman.
Okay. So anyway, so I proposed to her. She said yes. But obviously, we kept it secret. So what happened there?
We kept it a secret. And at first we were wondering if we were going to keep it a secret or tell somebody else, like at least our family. But I think we decided it would be best if we could just enjoy it together first.
Yeah, why did we keep it a secret? Oh, okay. So, at that time, we were still working, and I think I was still in the middle of my love team with Andrea.
I was still doing Miss World at this time.
You were still doing Miss World. So, yeah. So, it was still the same reasons.
Yeah, we
that-
didn't think we felt the need to tell anyone yet because we knew that we weren't going to get married right away. So I think it was more of just us wanting to enjoy the moment, and us getting engaged was more of our commitment to each
To one another.
rather than telling people, oh my God, we're engaged, we're going to get married, because we weren't at that point where we wanted to get married. It was more of just a commitment to each other.
Yeah, so it was a very personal, private, and intimate commitment to
Yeah.
one another. And when you tell other people, there's no added value to that. You're not more committed because you tell other people.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't feel the urge to tell other people. So given that, we laid out some rules because we were engaged. How are we going to deal with it?
How are
So
we going
for
to
the
keep it a secret?
Yeah, so for the very first year, we decided we weren't going to tell anybody.
Anyone.
So it was just a year-long commitment and us being kilig and giddy.
And slowly in the process of learning how to learn more about each other.
Yeah. Because, syempre, when you're engaged to someone and you're committed at that level, there's more comfort, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely a comfort zone that you reach
Mm-hmm.
when you
Mm-hmm.
get into that. And after the first year, we talked about it. So, it came to a point where we wanted to tell we wanted to share it to someone we love, because
Yeah.
you get that. Eventually, you do get that. So on year 2 of the engagement, we said, all right, we can't tell everybody right away. We can't tell all our loved ones right away.
We can't tell our moms because obviously moms like to tell other people because they're
Diba?
just so happy.
Sorry, moms.
So
Diba?
moms,
Sasabihin sa lahat ng tita. Yung mga tita sasabihin sa ibang mga
Hindi
tita. And then the
pwede.
whole world will find out right away. So our rule was we could only pick one person to tell. And that was difficult because I have 8 other brothers and sisters.
and then Victor and Lauren are both very, very close to me.
And of course, I had my friends. I had my best friends, my barkada. So I just had to pick one. It was challenging, but at the same time, it gave us peace of mind that, okay, this is going to stay a secret because we're going to pick the best person to tell this secret to.
Exactly.
So I picked my older brother.
And I picked Victor. Sorry, Lauren, because at that time, I knew you couldn't keep a secret. Maybe now, yes.
Up until now, no. Kidding, she can.
She can. But at that time, I wasn't sure if she could.
So how did Lauren find out eventually?
Oh, Lauren. Okay, so Lauren actually found out by accident. I'm so sorry. We were supposed to tell our family all at the same time. And for some reason, Lauren and I were talking about something. And I blurted out that Mick and I were engaged, like casually. And I was like, oh, nope. She was like, huh? Ate? Ate, really? You're engaged? And she really talks like that, huh? Like when she
really does talk
when
like
she
that.
gets teary-eyed, her voice sounds exactly like that. And then she gets all glassy-eyed. She was like, Tinga, was it a secret? Did you keep a secret from me? And then she just started to like, I'm so happy, but like I'm so mad you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a shocking moment for my sister Lauren.
Yeah, so that's what happened year 1 and 2. Year 1, kept it to ourselves. Year 2, told one person. And before we move on to the succeeding years, I think we have to talk about one important thing.
What?
When you propose to someone, usually you have a
Ring.
ring. And obviously, because I did it
Impromptu.
spontaneously, at the spur of the moment, I didn't have a ring prepared. So after I had proposed, we actually talked about this. I was like, do you want a ring? Because are you going to wear it?
No, because like we were thinking also na secret nga, diba? We're gonna keep it to ourselves first. How are you gonna keep it to yourself if you have something so obvious on your hand?
So we were like, okay, no, I'm not getting you a ring. You're not going to wear it anyway.
Exactly.
And you don't like rings also.
Yeah, I don't really wear a lot of jewelry
She
outside
doesn't
of
even
work.
have her wedding ring.
I'm not even. You're
Neither
not
do
wearing
I don't
it.
like rings either. We'll get to that in another episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, so rings were out of the question. So syempre, we were still kilig with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, okay, maybe we can get something to represent our commitment to one another, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
because
that should be fun.
traditionally, diba, you have the rings and it's supposedly a representation of your commitment to each
Yeah.
other.
So something that came up was actually a watch for one another.
Yeah, we were thinking instead of rings, let's just get watches.
Yeah,
and then we'll
even
like
though-
engrave it pa and
Yeah.
everything.
And then even though hindi kami mahilig sa watches, at least there's a chance we can wear it and nobody will ever think that, oh, they're engaged.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, sige, let's do this. So during our research, we actually came up with a specific watch already.
yeah, and we were thinking, oh, okay, so for engagement rings, it's like usually diamonds or basta magandang stone. And then we were like, maybe we can think of a nice watch. What's a nice watch?
We thought of a Rolex for one
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
yeah, expensive watch. And it came to the point now we knew what model we wanted. We would go to the Rolex stores to fit and see if it looked nice
Yeah.
and everything.
And see like the different colors and like go like
The
when we
sizes.
would travel, we would like check out like the different ones that they
Yeah.
had.
So the one I wanted was an Explorer 2, and the one that you wanted was a Datejust.
Date just something.
And an added thing to why I picked that was because my dad, who has already passed away, he wanted to give all his sons and daughters a Rolex. Like that was his dream. So that's why I thought about it. So there was some sort of sentimental connection as well
Yeah.
for me. That's why I brought up the watch. But here's the thing. We never got the watches.
We never got them. Like, I had a picture of both our watches on my desktop, and I would look at it from time to time. And you know how when you want to get something, you keep on going back to it and you keep on getting excited and more excited when you see it. And you're like, yeah, okay, I really want to buy this. But every time I looked at the pictures, like, hindi ako na-excite. Habang nakikita ko, but I would just
or
be
hindi
like,
ka na-excite enough to go out and buy it.
yeah, I would just be like, oh, it's pretty. Or
Because
like,
there were so many days that we would say, okay, tomorrow or today we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. And it just never happened.
Also, like, there was one time we were going to get it, and I'm like, Fofo, this is so much money.
It's so
I don't want to spend all this money at one time for
those watches are so expensive.
Oh my
So
gosh.
eventually, after a couple of years had passed, we finally resigned to the fact that, you know what? I don't think we really want these watches.
Yeah, because we didn't get them, and I just
Diba?
deleted it from my desktop. I
Yeah,
was just
like
like,
as
no.
in wala, no regrets. Actually, I think happy nga tayo na hindi natin nakuha.
I'm so happy we didn't
I'm
spend
glad
money on
because
that.
I wouldn't have used the watch a lot.
No.
If I used it, I might have lost it. I might have
Yeah.
scratched it up. So many things could have happened that would make me unhappy. So I was like, wag na lang.
Yeah.
Mahal pa. Sakit pa sa bank account.
Oo. So okay na rin. Okay na rin pala na hindi natin nagawa yun.
Yeah, so that was the story of the engagement ring that became a watch that became nothing. But the thing is, we also talked about it and we thought to ourselves, why do we need an object to represent our commitment and love for one another?
Yeah.
Diba? Because I think the best way to represent your commitment and love is to actually do it
Yeah.
for the person
Act
every
upon
day
it.
and show it. Diba? That's the best way to show to represent that.
Yeah.
So rather than saying, "Oh, I have a watch. I love her." Why don't I just say, "Why don't I make you a cup of coffee and be amazing to you every day? Why don't I do that to show my love to you?"
Yeah.
Isn't that better?
Yeah. That's how we are. I mean, it's different for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. So that's just that was our rationale
Mm-mm.
between being okay not having a ring or a watch. So I think that helped us out a lot.
It did. It did. Well, one, it helped us save money. Two, it made us realize that we don't need a material thing or something that expensive, honestly, to represent our love for each other. So I think they were good lessons, and having that long engagement kind of helped us out.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, back to our timeline. So second year was we told one person. On the third year or around the fourth year, we finally decided that, you know what? We have to tell our families.
Yeah,
It's time
it's
because this is
time.
going to happen. So let's let them know already.
Oh, ang tagal na eh, di ba?
4 years na yun eh.
Kailangan sabihin na natin kasi ang tagal
Okay,
na.
ito yung problema. Takot siya. Hindi niya alam kung paano niya gagawin. So
I
sabi
don't
ko,
know.
sige, ako na bahala. Let me be the example. So I said, I'm gonna tell your parents and your family first. Well, I mean, Lauren and Victor knew already. So
Yeah,
it was
they
just
knew.
your mom.
It was just my mom.
So I remember Tita Vicky, Mama Vicky,
Mom.
Mama Vicky. She was in the house and beside her ref, I think we were in the kitchen/dining table, and I took her aside and I said, "Hey, Tita Vicky, I have something to tell you. I proposed to Megan already, and I asked her to be my wife." And she started crying
Oh
and
my
hugging
gosh.
me. And I said, "I just wanted to let you know, and then I'll make you kwento all the details when you're ready for it." Because syempre emotional siya at that time. So it was very simple. It was easy. I mean, for me, I thought that was easy. I was telling the mom of the person, of my fiance, that I was gonna marry her, and we were all on good terms. There was zero issues when it came to me and her family.
Yeah.
So it was such an easy thing for me. And at the same time, I'm not afraid of those kinds of moments. I actually get excited. I'm like, yeah, I want to tell these people.
Yeah.
However, okay, after I did mine, I had dinner with my family and Megan was there. And that was her turn to say it. I think we were maybe in Rockwell, maybe in Mamu. Okay, if I remember correctly, we were together and I said, "Hey, you gotta do this. Ito yung problema. Nervyosa si ate."
Sobra. Oh
And I
my
was like, "Why,
gosh.
dude? You know all of them." She's at that point. She was already close to almost all my brothers and
Yeah.
sisters. My mom, she would talk to already. She was comfortable talking to my mom. So I was like, dude, just tell them. And she would ask me, when do I say it? How do I say it? How do I start? And I was like, oh my God, what is she
It was
talking
hard
about?
for
Like,
me.
noob. What a noob.
No, pinangungunahan ko kasi yung sarili ko. And I don't know why I got so nervous at
Diba?
that
And
time.
I told her, I even gave her tips. I was like, after we eat, all you say, hey guys, I have something to say. Is that so? Was it so hard? Okay, so anyway, the first dinner we were eating, we finished the main course, dessert was coming out. I was looking at her and I was saying, yo, ikaw na. Ikaw na. Ikaw na. And she froze up. Walang ginawa si
Wala akong
Bones.
sinabi.
And then the night finished and I was like, oh my God.
You didn't
Hindi niya
say
sinabi.
anything.
I was in shock. Kasi syempre, I was the example already. Binigyan ko na nga siya ng coaching tips ng kodigo.
Excited ka na.
And I was like, ano to? Diba? Excited na ako makita yung reaction ng family members ko. So I said, okay, fine. Maybe, okay, she really was nervous, obviously. Take 2. Okay? At home. Dining table, eating dinner. I said, eto na, moment mo na. Don't mess it up. Don't choke, Bones. She choked.
Oh gosh, big
She didn't
time.
do anything. Again. Okay? And this happened maybe like 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
It happened a lot of times. And it really came to the point na I was like, parang magagalit na yata ako. Mag-aaway na yata kami. Kasi ayaw niya sabihin sa pamilya ko na magpapakasal na kami. Or that at least we're engaged. So I was like, bakit? As in medyo, alam mo yung medyo palaaway na yung usapan.
Yeah. Yeah.
May argument na yung dating ng usapan namin eh. So I was like, oh, okay. On the final straw, I said, you know what? We're going over to my house. And something was on the line. I used something. It was a playful threat. But I was like, no, you are going to do this now or something.
I think it was this time that I had trouble with being put on the spot.
Yeah.
And I really struggled with that throughout the years. Now it's not a problem for me. But back then, if I was mas naglessen. Okay. Mas naglessen. But back then, if you put me on the spot and I had to be like, people had to listen to me and I had to announce something, no matter what it was.
Banu ka.
Sobrang bano.
Okay, but anyway, back to my story because this is exciting. At that point, that day, parang madaming pagkakamali si Bones.
Uh-oh.
So she owed me a lot at that. I was like, oh, because I just want her to do her best in everything she does. And for whatever reason, you know, she
I
was
was
just
messing up
fumbling.
big
She was just
time.
messing up big time at that point. So I was like, you know what, Bones? You have to make it up to me. Okay, when we agreed on this, I did my part right away and you were giving me a difficult time. It was like the 5th, 6th time already. Basta ang daming beses na. So I told her that we were going to go up to my mom's room.
Call everybody in.
Call everybody in. And she was going to say, I have something to tell all of you. And then she was going to kneel down in front of me and then propose to me.
So he made it even harder for me because this time I wasn't just telling them that, hey, we're engaged. This time I had to pretend to propose to him in front of his family.
Diba? So I mean, kasi punong-puno na ako. Sabi ko, ay, okay, pahihirapan ko na to. Pahihirapan ko na talaga.
And he made sure that there was something on the line so that it would actually happen.
Yeah, there was something on the line. I said, kung hindi mo ginawa to, you owe me this or that, okay? So may consequence na siya. So, back against the wall na si Bones. So we went inside my mom's room and to her horror, it wasn't just my mom. My younger brother Emilio was there.
Mauro.
Mauro was there.
Bea.
Bea was there. Alvaro might have been there
He
as
might.
well. And, you know, we hang out lang, diba? Kailangan cool eh. Parang eksena eh. Kailangan,
Oh
diba,
my
suabe.
gosh.
Hindi pwedeng papasok tas awkward. Pasok siya. And all of a sudden, she stands up and she says, I have to tell you guys something. And ako, playing dumb ako, diba? Kasi syempre, I don't know she's gonna propose, quote unquote. And she says, Fofo, come here. I need to tell you something. And sobrang awkward ng voice niya. She's like, Fofo, come here. I need to tell you something. And I was like, oh my God, she's not doing well at all. But anyway, I'll play along. Stood up. And then she kneels down in front of me. And then says, will you marry me? And my mom and my brother and my brothers and my sisters, lahat nagwala. They were like, oh my God. Like, Emilia was banging the pillow on the bed, and then my mom was like, hands on her head.
She was like, what's happening?
What's happening? And then si Megan hiyang-hiya na, still kneeling down, looking up at me. And then I look down at her and I say, anong sinasabi mo?
So he made it
I
even
went off
worse.
script. Kasi syempre dapat simple lang. Dapat yes agad para sweet, diba?
And I was like,
I went off script and I was like, anong ginagawa mo?
and I was like, oh my God. In my head, I was thinking, oh my God, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's just supposed to say yes. Oh my God, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. Help me, Fofo.
And then I was like, bakit mo ako tinatanong yan? Dapat ako nagtatanong yan. Ayoko nga.
I panicked so bad because what was I going to say in front of his family, who was obviously confused but happy?
They were confused. They were happy. They were in shock. And in all that chaos, eventually, nung siguro mahimatay na siguro si Bon sa takot at sa nervyos, and everybody was just going wild with all the chaos happening, I said, everybody settle down. This was all a joke. Just want to let you guys know we really are engaged, and this isn't the first time that she's proposing to me. Okay, so there. That was all. That was the story of an adventure of how Bones told my family that we were engaged. Ang hirap, no? That's what I had to go through.
But it's love, isn't it?
And it was a great story. And this is the first time I'm telling this to people. I have to tell this story more often. It's such a fun story. And the reason why I didn't feel bad was because you gave my mom and my siblings a chance to feel, even though it was very fleeting.
Yeah.
And it was somewhat fake and untrue. You gave them a chance to feel like you proposed to me.
That was so funny. You know, I only just remembered
how
now.
many times are you going to be able to give someone that feeling, diba?
Yeah.
That's why I'm so happy. It was so funny.
And also because I'm the girl, and girls aren't usually the ones that propose.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like, huh?
Yeah, it was an amazing memory.
So after 5 years of being engaged, obviously we decided to finally seal the deal. But I guess people are wondering, bakit ngayon pa? Bakit hindi noon? Bakit hindi later on?
I think I realized this just recently. The Stepdaughters, that teleserye, it was our first teleserye together. That was a huge reason for us to finally decide that, hey, let's actually get married. Let's move on from the engagement stage. And the reason for that was it was our first teleserye together, and it was so successful to the point that it was the most successful teleserye that either
that we've
of us
ever done, yeah.
have been in. So parang ang sarap ng feeling. Diba? It was the longest teleserye you and I have ever been in. It was such a great experience because we were
got
all
to work
so
together.
close to the team.
Yeah.
The cast, the staff, the production crew, everybody. So when it ended, we knew that we were going to be on break for a while because GMA wasn't going to give us a show right away after a year of working. And then we were on a high because ang ganda ng show, diba?
Ang ganda
Successful.
lahat. Everything just went so well during that year.
So with all those factors coming into play, we finally thought, hey, parang we can get married na.
Yeah.
Diba? We had savings. We were happy with work. There was so much stability. At that time, the vlog was doing very well already. So there were just so many good things happening that it felt like it was the right time to do this.
And it's funny because when we were constantly talking about getting married, we're like, kailan kaya? Siguro 2020 tayo, no? And then we joke about it. Like, oh, 2020 na yan. Kasi ang dami niyo magkakapatid, so kailangan unahan niya.
Ay, tama. Yung sukob is real.
Yeah, so Kiara was getting married in this year, so we have to make sure na 2020 tayo.
Kung hindi, baka maunahan tayo. So,
Oo.
2021 na yun.
So, ay, sabi ko, ay, hindi ako makapaghintay. Gusto ko na, ito na. Nafe-feel ko na, gusto ko na. And then, we had the GMA Thanksgiving party, which involved the artists, the bosses, executive producers, directors, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And we all had a really good time, but we were all like drinking and having fun.
Yeah, so basically this was another factor into why we decided to finally get married. So in this GMA party where we were having way too much fun, also it was just a lovely atmosphere.
Yeah, everybody was just so happy and enjoying each other's company.
Well, some of the bosses and then bosses and
Executives.
executives asked us, oh, kailan na kayo? Pero pa-joke lang, kailan na kayo magpapakasal? Pero syempre, kami, because we were having so much fun, for whatever reason, we blurted out, siguro, 2020 na yan. Pero pa-joke
2020.
lang. Pero I don't think it really came across as a joke.
Yeah.
Parang when we said that and when we delivered that line, I think it came across more serious.
No, because we weren't saying
Than
siguro. We were like, 2020 na kami ikakasal.
2020. But we had no plans yet.
Wala pa.
So, when
Zero.
Stepdaughter ended, and then we looked back to that memory of telling the bosses and our workmates na magpapakasal na pala kami. We were like, alam mo, sige na nga, ito na, 2020 na tayo. And that is the moment that we started seriously considering, hey, what do we have to do? What are the first steps you do to start planning for a wedding?
And that's what we'll talk about next episode.
And that is what we will talk about in the very next episode. But to wrap things up, okay, this was the story of our 5-year engagement from year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All the mini stories in between. But I'd like to cap it off with another proposal, the last proposal that I made.
Oh, yeah. I remember this. Okay.
So
It was very
I think,
recent.
yeah, we should talk about the ring. So we got married January 10, 2020. And then there was a celebration party, Jan
Wedding,
25, 2020. But the ring, the engagement ring, which I eventually had made, I gave January 1,
2020.
So the story behind that was, eventually, since we were going to
Doing
get
our
married,
planning.
I had to get her the ring and the wedding bands.
No, you had to get the wedding bands for the both of us.
Yes.
The
And
wedding
the engagement
bands.
ring.
No, but initially we didn't want engagement rings. Remember, I told you like, no, I'm fine without an engagement ring.
Yeah, but eventually nga.
Okay.
Eventually. So, I was thinking, okay, I'm just gonna do my own thing and not talk to her about what I'm going to get. So I said, sige, standard diamond ring. Hindi ako maarte about it. Okay, and she didn't know what she wanted anyway, so she
Yeah.
was gonna be happy with anything. I would have imagined. So I told my Lola, who is a jeweler, okay, Lola, just give me a standard.
Let them know the name of your Lola shop.
Lola Ameling of Oro y Plata. She makes amazing jewelry, so please go there and ask. If you need anything, go to her. She's great. But anyway, back to the story. I said, Lola, I need a wedding ring. I need an engagement ring first.
Yeah.
So just a standard cut diamond. I had no idea what I was saying. Diba? Not too big, not too small. Yung saktong-sakto lang. So I think she kind of understood what I was trying
Yeah.
to say. And she said, okay, Iho, I'll do something for you and I'll let you know when it's ready. I'll show you the photos. Okay? So in the process of making it, I eventually blurted out to Megan that, oh yeah, dude, your ring is in the making already. And she was like, talaga? And all of a sudden, she tells me, parang I saw a blue ring. Maganda. And I was like, Puchi.
Puchi.
I was like, teka lang, pinagawa ko na yung ring eh. Yung
But that you
engagement
said that to
ring eh.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really tell me na pinapagawa. You're like, oh, I'm asking Lola Amelie
Yeah.
to make the band.
So I was like, oh, teka lang, bakit ganun? So I was like, pakita nga anong peg mo. So she showed me some pegs.
I had a lot of pegs.
Yeah, so she showed me some pegs, and then I was like, oh, okay, like in the video games, right? In the video games, they have colored rings.
Yeah.
Like the gems, they like blue,
Staunch ring.
red, green, staunch ring, and Ragnarok Mobile to be specific. So I was like, okay, gets. In my head, I was like, darn it, gotta go through the whole process again, which I wasn't fond of. So went to my Lola's shop and said, she wants this and this. Could you help me out? And they showed me some stones, and they had aquamarine, sapphire, topaz. Eventually, I settled on the topaz because it looked like an iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she liked the iceberg-looking color.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, pwede na yan. And during the first draft of the ring, I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, it does not look good.
I thought it was so ugly.
It was not good. And I was looking at my tita and my lola.
Yeah.
My tita who was there working with my lola. And I was like, tita, parang hindi siya masyado maganda, no? And she was like, yeah. Oo nga, hindi nga siya masyado maganda. What can we do? I don't know anything about these things. It's like, don't worry, I know what to do. Kasi syempre, it was also their first time doing an engagement ring na colored. And they were just following the pegs and what I was trying to say. And obviously what I was trying to say was never really clear.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll fix it. And on the second revision, I came back and I was like, oh my God, it looks beautiful. Galing. In fairness to my lola and my tita, oh, great taste. Me, not so good taste. Because my taste was the first draft. The
Buti
second
na lang.
draft, that was all my lola and my
Buti
tita.
na lang. But it was so nice. Like when I first saw it, I was in awe.
Yeah, it was really
It
nice.
was so beautiful.
And it was so unique because it really looked like an iceberg. It's like you
Yeah.
chipped an ice piece off the iceberg and put it on your ring.
And it was so funny because when we were doing the wedding in Kalarwega, Mikael opened the ring box because he hadn't seen the wedding bands. He had just seen the engagement ring. And we were going to put the rings on each other. He opened the ring box. And when he saw my ring, he took it and he was like, oh, wow, so pretty. And then we were just like, Fofo, come on, we need to do the ceremony now. He was just like, wow, it's so nice.
Yeah, no, I was amazed. I was amazed.
nice.
And you know what? As we get to the end of this episode, I think that's a good example. Because I think there's a lot of pressure to follow tradition when it comes to weddings, especially in the Philippines. But just because there is a specific tradition in place already doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be pressured into following it. Because if your preferences and your taste are different from tradition, then I think you should allow yourself to express that.
Yeah, because Mick and I broke a lot of traditional rules when it came to our wedding. But the rules that we broke them because if we followed it traditionally, we wouldn't have been happy with the outcome of the wedding. So everything, all the rules that we broke, I'm so happy we broke them.
Not the rules. No, all the traditions we didn't follow.
They weren't necessarily rules, but all the traditions that people usually follow.
Yeah, and the great example there is really the diamond engagement ring. I mean, I've actually never seen a non-diamond engagement ring. Yours was the very first.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it was such a huge blessing in disguise because one, it looked absolutely beautiful, and two, you look amazing in it and you love it. And three, to be honest with you, it was so much cheaper than a diamond.
Yeah, it really was.
Diba? I mean, that was just a bonus, but it is a practical bonus that's actually very useful.
It's good for us for us, because we're so practical when it comes to our money.
Diba? And, I have a lot of friends who have gotten married also, lots of other friends who want to get married. And sometimes there's so much pressure to buy this super expensive ring to the point na ang dami mo nang sinasacrifice, and you're sacrificing your own health, maybe other important things in your life, just to get this one thing, which sa totoo lang is actually quite superficial. Diba? Like I said, the objects don't have to be the ones to represent your love. What ultimately represents your love for someone is the actual interactions and the actions that you give.
when I look back on it and I think about the diamond ring and me not wanting an engagement ring, I think it was because I wasn't really ever attracted to a diamond ring. And that's why before I would tell you, no, I don't need it. Like, I don't need a ring. Because I never imagined myself owning something extravagant like that. But when I saw I saw it on Instagram. I saw this account that sold colored engagement rings, and then I kept going back to it. I followed the account. I kept liking, the stuff that they would post, and I was like, wow, this feels like my personality. It's so different from, remember the Rolex watch and how
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would keep going back and forth. When I would keep going back and forth to this Instagram account, the feeling just kept getting stronger and stronger. And that's when I told Mikael that, hey, this is the color of the ring that I want.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, just a huge takeaway for those who are listening is you don't need to sacrifice all the other important things in your life
Mm.
for one tradition that sa totoo lang is, it it it's quite superficial to a certain
Yeah.
to a certain extent. I understand that if you have the means and you are capable to follow these traditions, then by all means go. We respect these
Yeah.
traditions. There's a lot of respect that we give to having a diamond engagement ring.
And sometimes people really look forward to them also.
Okay. But that respect doesn't mean that you distort reality
Yeah.
and tell yourself, I want a 1 million peso
Oh my
engagement ring
gosh.
when that's not reality for you. Right? It's so difficult. That's so much pressure and stress that you're putting on yourself when you could put all that energy towards loving the person more.
Exactly.
Right? So that is our engagement story and some of the things that we learned along the way, some of the things we realized just now. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to have way more of these wedding podcast episodes. So those who are anxiously or anticipating some of these, so please subscribe, follow.
Yeah, and if you guys have any
Something.
questions about the wedding in terms of planning or in terms of the wedding itself, you can send them over to us at Megan Bata and at Mikael Daes.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Twitter,
Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram.
Just message us.
You know it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening.
And thank you for the congratulations that you guys sent us.
Yeah.
Super sweet. Thank you guys.
Bye.
See ya.